coverage of the NFL has us at the venerable Superdome in downtown New Orleans. Straight ahead, we've got a pretty good one on tap here, as it'll be the New York Jets taking on the New Orleans Saints. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
Right out of the gates, here's Smith. And incomplete to open things up.
We'll have to see what kind of looks this defense is going to throw at him as this game moves along, but they're in the zone to start. I do think we'll see plenty of man coverage as we move along, but the first throw of this one, incomplete.
Smith, an incomplete pass on first down. Now it's 2nd and 10. First carry for the Iowa State man, Breece Hall. He takes this for 3 to the 29. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. Throwing now is Geno. And that is incomplete. Not the opening possession they were looking for, especially on the road.
No doubt about it, because they wanted to come out and establish a little momentum right away. But now bringing up a 4th down, an empty possession, not what they were seeking.
So on 4th down, Austin McNamara comes on to punt. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. Looking to put a drive together. First carry for the Clemson man, Travis Etienne. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
That was a good illustration of setting the edge as a defensive end, being able to make sure that you stay on your feet no matter what type of block, and you're not going to get pushed inside. Stayed home, skated to the outside, and made the play.
Now he's going to step up and run, and he will slide down with a good gain. A nice job of eluding the pressure there, scrambling for 11.
This early in the game, it's all about making steady progress downfield, hoping to lead to early points. And you can do it with your actual play calls, or sometimes something a little more improvised, as we just saw there.
They'll try and sneak it here. And he is going to have a Saints 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And the Saints 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Play fake, Shuck. Now he'll tuck this and run. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. 10 yards, good for his Saints 1st down. Well, Charles, in the past, a lot of people called this offense one-dimensional.
I think you did.
Well,
I think it was you.
I'll be honest, I did. I think the fan base is hoping with this young rookie that they can put some wrinkles in this offense like we just saw.
I think you're exactly right, because we did have that discussion that what we've seen in the past from them, they needed to broaden.
Joseph Osai in there to get him. It's a loss of 5. Well, we've seen how this quarterback can beat you with his legs. Saw it earlier on this drive, as a matter of fact. But that time, they had him covered.
They really gave him no place to escape, because oftentimes they're able to find a crack, a sliver, anything that can get them upfield. On that occasion, nothing open at all, and they swarmed him.
That's complete. It's Jalen Pope. Completion good for 14 yards. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. It's a quarterback sneak. And he is going to have a Saints first down, maybe by about a yard as they find a way to convert on 3rd and inches.
Another Saints first down. 1st and 10 at the 46-yard line.
Off the fake, now Shuck's going to throw. They'll get this out to the flat for Etienne. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 10 yards, good for a Saints first down.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backside of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody cut. Oh, he just snuck out there, and he just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? They were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Brings up 2nd and 8.
Now Shuck. They'll set up the screen down to Kamara. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. The Saints passing game in sync and moving the football. It's a first down.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
2 yards.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Here's Shuck. They'll drop this one off with Etienne. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. That'll go for a gain of 7. And that'll leave him with a 3rd and just a yard. Well, we know he can run the football too, but he's a good pass catcher. That's been on display here, Charles, on this opening drive.
And we certainly have seen the benefits of what he did in the offseason, which was spend more time with wide receivers, working on routes, working on cuts, in order to make himself a more complete running back and even more of a threat downfield.
First down. 1st and goal at the 8-yard line.
So another 3rd down conversion, and now they've got a 1st and goal. Try to pound it in, Kamara. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for 2nd down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. Completing it to the right side, Johnson. That catch good for 8, but still, it's 3rd and goal now.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some time.
And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Chris Olave from 3 yards out. And the Saints are on the board first here this afternoon. Both sides of the football in sync early. You force the 3 and out, and then you take it down, score points.
You know what that tells me? They sold their game plan really well. Head coach said, listen, we're just going to stop them on 3 and out. We're going to take the ball downfield and score. But he also told them how it was going to happen. They're going to run this. We're going to stuff it. Then we're going to take the ball. They won't be able to keep up with us. And they got it done.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Back on the field come the New York Jets for their second drive.
And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
And that's the knowledge you gain from being in this league for a long time. He's learned the hard way when to give up and fight another down. And that's a smart move to throw it away.
Smith, an incomplete pass on first down. Now it's 2nd and 10. Geno now to throw. To the sideline and incomplete.
And he's missed now his first 4 passing attempts. The rhythm is just not there to begin this ball game.
The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. Here's Smith. He's got his target. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Well, that's one way to convert on 3rd down, picking up 26 yards. Took him 5 tries, but he is able to complete that first pass of the game.
And could you hear the exhale all the way up here? Not just from him, coaching staff, offensive line, receivers. Now he's off the schneid. Can they get him going in a nice groove where he becomes a little more consistent throwing the football?
Because you miss those first 2, but get up the 0 for 4 range. That can be a little tricky, but able to settle in, hopefully.
Yeah, now you won't have any confidence issues. Now you can kind of get it back even with just one throw.
At the 42-yard line.
From the 42-yard line, here's the 2nd and 5. They'll fake it. Now Smith. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
That was not a real confident throw right there, and he's just 2 of 7 to start the game. Now he's going to have to find a groove with a big 3rd down coming up. Let's see if his confidence can increase.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Again, Smith. And this is going to be incomplete.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up 4th down.
Here's Austin McNamara now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And there's a work of art right there. Out of bounds at the 2-yard line. New Orleans Saints, they get ready to set up shop for their 2nd drive. Well, just 2 series in here, Charles, but everything's gone to script so far. They got a touchdown on their first drive. Their defense holds, and now they've got a chance to take a 2-score lead.
And to co-sign with you, exactly the start they scripted up. And really, that kind of start, that can set the tone for the game for them.
And he'll take this up to about the 7- or 8-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
And that run, that changes the whole mentality about the drive right there. They were starting on their own 2-yard line. They just wanted enough space to punt the football successfully. Now they're talking about putting together a drive.
He gets this one to Johnson. It'll go as a gain of 4. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
That was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. They'll go with a keeper. And he is going to have a Saints first down, maybe by about a yard as they find a way to convert on 3rd and inches.
It's been tough sledding on the ground, but after that first down pickup, they've got to gain a little bit more confidence and feel good about starting a new set of downs, trying to move the ball.
Final 30 seconds of this first quarter, and it's been a quarter dominated by the guys with the football. Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
And he'll take this back down inside the 20. So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20.
At the 19-yard line.
They'll start out here with the option left. And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. Geno Smith scampering home from 19 yards out. And the Jets are within an extra point of tying up this ball game. So they're down in the red zone. They opt to utilize his legs instead of the arm. It works out pretty well.
I like what they were thinking there, because in most situations now, defense is accounting for all the other runners on the field and, of course, for pass plays. But the quarterback position, oftentimes it is unaccounted for. Offense coordinator felt it, dialed it right up.
Inside the red zone, is this something teams should maybe, depending on the quarterback, do more often?
Definitely. If you've got a quarterback who can actually move it with his legs, that's an extra option and an extra weapon for you. I think they should utilize it more often.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The New Orleans offense back out and ready to go. They had the interception last drive, led to the tying touchdown. So 7-7 the score as they begin 1st and 10. Looking to put a drive together. He'll look to Etienne to start things out. And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up 2nd down. These two teams all tied after 1. Ready for the second quarter from New Orleans. It's the Saints in possession as they've got it 2nd and 7. The slot man in motion right. On 2nd down, Etienne once more. Well, this will wind up a Saints 1st down as he'll take this up to the 38-yard line.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a 1st down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On the counter, Etienne. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. It was Will McDonald bursting in there and making that play.
I thought he did a nice job there setting an edge and making sure nothing could get to the outside. But he decided that wasn't enough for him. Worked his way back inside and made the tackle on the ball carrier.
They'll throw. Here's Shuck. And the Jets pressure too much as down he goes. Give the sack to David Onyemata, the product of Nigeria by way of Canada. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up the 4th down.
If you're looking for glory, looking to get your name in the headlines, you do not want to play nose tackle. But how about what we just saw there? The ability to hold people up, take on extra blocks, and actually slip them and make a tackle on that play. That's big time.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. 47-yard punt, a return of 4. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. And New York set to take the field. And the momentum just continuing to build and build for them. They had the touchdown, their last drive to tie the game. Now their defense does its job. And Charles, all of a sudden, they've got a chance to capture the lead here.
And we're seeing a really nice exhibition of what coaches love to call complementary football. Offense gets a tie. Defense does its job, gets the ball right back, and their teammates now have momentum. What a nice job they're doing, all doing it together. Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
Still 9 yards to go on second down from the 27. They'll fake the handoff. Now Smith. And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield. They push him back 8 yards that time on second down.
But it certainly took too long to set up play action, and that gave the pass rush time to get home for its first sack of the game. For their sake, they may start to think about the quick game and leave play action alone for a little while.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. This pass out wide to Hall. And a good job defensively. They stopped him short of the first at the 32. It'll be a pickup of 13, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
The New Orleans offense set to take over. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. Looking to put a drive together. Off the play fake. Here's Sharp. Pressure comes and down he goes. The sack recorded. It's a loss of 5, and now it's second down.
Brings up 2nd and 15.
What a nice read and play by the defensive tackle. Never bought the play action fake. Went right for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. And a short gain across the 15 to the 17-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
The Saints on 3rd down. They have been superb. 5 for 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 11. They'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack. Will McDonald gets in there to take him down. Tell you what, he did not have much time there to scan the field before he was ducking and covering.
Did it appear to you, as it did to me, that the defensive front won their play really quickly? Meaning the guys in front of them had almost no chance to block them. They were on him in a hurry.
His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. They'll net only 35 here following a 43-yard boot, 8-yard return. And the Jets will have a short field to work with as they take over 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Hall. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
From the 43, here's 2nd down and 5. So offense moving a little too slow there, could not get set, and they get the penalty. Well, everybody was up there ready at the line of scrimmage, CD, but no snap, and the delay of game ensued.
Yeah, and I'm sure their head coach is asking the exact same thing. What's going on out there? Almost like they thought they had more time than actually was on the clock.
So the delay of game penalty moves it back 5. That makes it 2nd and 10. A shotgun snap for Smith. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
Incomplete. He was covered by Kaden Elliss.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Now Geno. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Incomplete. Brings up 4th down.
Here's the Jets punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And they'll play keep away from the returner, as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. Looking to put a drive together. Now Etienne to start the drive. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half, as they're going to stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
This defense has really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense going to have to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
To throw is Shuck. Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Brandon Stevens. And they will set up shop with outstanding field position in the red zone at the 17-yard line. And that is incomplete. The coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
Incomplete.
And to put it mildly, this is a tough spot defensively. They have to come right back out and defend their red zone. But how about that good first step towards forcing them to settle for at least 3 points? I think they're also thinking bigger right now. Imagine being able to stop them totally and change the momentum.
Over the middle and complete to Wilson. And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. Garrett Wilson, a 16-yard touchdown. And the Jets have taken the lead.
And no matter how it comes about, when you get good field position, you have to make the defense pay. Short fields usually make for good offense.
Extra point by York is up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived, as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula that got them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they can get this game tied up.
Now a fake on the jet sweep, and they'll instead run up the middle. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I think we got to give it up for him right there. That's a heck of an athletic move for a big man right in the middle of the line. How about the play he makes there? Nowhere to run, and he finishes that one off for a loss.
And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
And a smart play there. He's probably saying, I wish I would have done that on the last drive instead of throwing the interception.
And 11.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Shuck out of the shotgun. And the Jets pressure too much as down he goes. Will McDonald. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half.
Well, this has turned into an absolute week to forget for this quarterback. Multiple sacks. Pair that with multiple turnovers. As far as he's concerned, if he ever sees this defense again, it'll be way too soon.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. 47 yards on the punt that time, just 1 yard on the return. And the Jets will take over. And New York set to take the field.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Second and 6.
Well, if you're going to run the read option, typically, you've got to keep an eye on the defensive end.
And what does that mean? What are you looking for with a defensive end?
Well, you want to play off of what he does. If he collapses inside towards the running back, then you pull it and take it yourself outside in. If he stays out.
No chance to get away there for Smith as he goes down.
That was Justin Reed, the safety, who got to the quarterback.
Oh, free safety blitz. That can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he'd better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
That is caught. And he is going to have a Jets first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. So he turned to a trusted, familiar face in that third down situation. It paid off.
Yeah, you go to your veteran receiver in that spot, so you can't underestimate him when he's on the field. Defensively, make sure you know where he is because he understands how to get open in key situations.
Connection made to record.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block first and foremost. Now we want to know how these guys can run because we envision them in offenses, catch the ball. How much yardage can they gain after that?
And that on display there for a good pickup.
And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 12 more yards there and another first down.
Another Jets first down. A gain of 12. And a Jets first down.
Smith now to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Reynolds. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that will bring up second down.
Brings up second and 4 at the Saints' 21-yard line.
Now Smith.
They'll set up the screen for Hall. He's got room to roam.
And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another first.
And this pass rush has really been bringing the heat and has already gotten home a few times here in the first half. So how about the play call there? Sometimes if you can't protect, you've got to fool them. Screen passes like that can take a little steam out of what's been a relentless rush so far.
The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Throwing now is Geno. And it's caught. Touchdown, Jets. Josh Reynolds, a 9-yard touchdown grab.
And the Jets have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Touchdowns on their first 3 possessions, and they're a PAT from going up 21-7.
Yeah, very impressive the way that they've moved the football. Full command of their playbook, full command of the way they wanted to attack.
Extra point by York is up and good.
And it's now 21-7.
Saints 7.
York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. Fighting through at the 25. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And the Saints coming back out ready to go for this next drive. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
No one there to help out downfield, but no problem. Scrambling for 22 and a first.
No shortage of impressive moments from him thus far. Now he's halfway to the century mark, and we're still in the first half. There's been no answer for his running ability so far by the defense. I can't wait to see what adjustments they'll have to make during the halftime break.
Now this complete to Pope. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. The second-round pick leading this offense well. It'll be a first down.
And a nice job by the two of them to not only connect on the pitch and the catch, but to carry over their practice work to the game field. They saw the adjustment by the defense, made an adjustment themselves, and picked up the first down.
He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Throwing, Shuck. That one caught by Pope. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll give him a short yardage situation here for second down.
Brings up second and a yard at the 12-yard line.
Shuck now to throw. He'll get that underneath Etienne. Now the Saints will use their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1.
First and 10 at the 10-yard line.
So not quite a first and goal. It's first and 10 from the 10. Shuck looking to throw once more. Complete to Olave on the out route. And it looks like he'll be just a yard shy of the 5 here as he's out at the 6.
Down at the 6-yard line. It's a gain of 5. Brings up second and 5.
Now second and 5. Snap will come from the 6. Here's Shuck. And he's got it. And he takes this down to about the 2 before going out of bounds. So the completion good for just 3.
Third and 2.
And now that sets up 3rd and 2. Great footwork there, Charles, to dot the I, stay in bounds, get both feet in. He's probably thinking, though, man, I made a catch like that close to the end zone. I should have scored.
Yeah, there's always a regret when you're that close to the goal line. But let's go back to what you talked about before. Getting his feet down. Would you say dotting the I? I can cross the T as well. That was excellent footwork to get in bounds and make a great catch.
So 3 points on the board, as easy a field goal as you're going to get, but I can see you shaking your head.
I love that peripheral vision of yours, partner, because to me, if it's the 4th quarter and you're up 6, I get it. But now, even if you run and don't get in, you're still setting them up to go a long field, 98, 99-yard drive. How do you look at your defense and not give them that opportunity?
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25.
The Jets going to go on offense one last time in this first half. And they'll have time for one play. That's it. 3 seconds to go before intermission. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground.
And he will perhaps get back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. And time has run out on this first half.
The Saints going to go on offense first, and they trail here as we begin quarter number 3. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. And right out of the gate, they face what you'd think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start clawing back, they've got to start putting a little pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
And that one going to come up short. Low throw.
Incomplete. With a rookie quarterback out there, you're definitely going to find out how he handles adversity, because this one so far made of.
2nd and 10. Straight ahead, Etienne. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 12 yards there, good for a Saints first down.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Slot man moves right. On first down, right back to Etienne. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
From the 38 now, here comes 2nd and 8. And they'll go again with Etienne. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. To throw now, Shuck. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
Well, if they have any designs on getting back into this football game in the second half, they're going to need to be much sharper offensively than they were on this opening possession. Not much happening here, and it'll lead to a 4th down.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away.
Fair catch, signaled for and taken.
So here's the Jets offense now as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. Looking to put a drive together. Throwing is Smith. Open man down the field. This is Mitchell. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one good for 37 yards.
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
Quick throw there is incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the third quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
Geno now to throw. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down.
Maybe just a lack of concentration there as he couldn't haul it in.
And when you're going across the middle like that, you know, he's running that drag route, you are conscious of all the bodies and the traffic in there. But let's face it, if you're going there, you might as well come down with the football and absorb whatever else happens after that.
Here's Smith. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 28. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
Again, Smith going right back to Wilson. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it'll be second down.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 24-yard line.
Smith going to try and run with it. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now third down coming up.
But sometimes that option can get bogged down before the gears really even get into motion, and I think that's what we saw there.
And I think what he saw a defensive end right in his face because he looked up and he was right there. Didn't even have a chance to get going.
Smith. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 12-yard line. The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another first.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode.
And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. Multiple defenders there to drop him for a loss of 4. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
And this will be well too low for him to bring in. It's incomplete.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. 5 yards, not enough, and it'll be 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
A 28-yard attempt.
York able to send this one through, and the lead grows to 14 at 24-10. So the lead grows here incrementally, but I think the way their defense is playing, you feel okay with just getting 3.
They've definitely been stout so far, but now that can all change because if one guy gets loose for 70 yards, this is a different game. But as it stands, field goals are good. Just keep adding to that lead.
New York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. They juked him. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The New Orleans offense set to take over. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He'd love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest. I tell you what, when you're down on the scoreboard, you've got to look to your stars, and that's what they do here to start the drive. I wouldn't be surprised if they looked his way a few more times in short order. That one, well designed, and it's a quick first down.
Now Shuck. There's a short one to the tight end, Johnson.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Another strong gain on the last two plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
A couple of first downs right in succession, and this is an offense that can really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
So in jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Here's Kamara off the draw. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. This drive starts with 2 steps forward and now 1 back. A pair of first downs, and here a loss of yardage.
And now you have to wonder, partner, at what point in time do they forget the running game? It's been a struggle so far in this one. I would think they'd have to start throwing it a little bit more.
They'll throw. Here's Shuck. Johnson with a completion over the middle. And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 26. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs.
1st and 10.
And that's one of the better plays we've seen this offense put together so far. They haven't been able to get on track much at all. But listen, they're only down a couple of scores with the rest of this quarter, and the entire 4th remaining, so stranger things have happened.
And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. So it goes as a completed pass, but they lose a full 5 yards.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
To throw is Shuck. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
The coverage was good, but I just wonder if they absolutely fooled the quarterback on that play. I think he was expecting something else, ended up with nowhere to throw the football successfully.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down.
To the air again. Here's Shuck.
This is Fant on the short completion. And he does not get to the first down marker as they stop him at the 19. It'll be a gain of 12, but it will also lead to 4th down.
Nice job understanding the situation. 3rd and long, kept the play in front of them and made the tackle. They gave up a good chunk of yardage, but it does force a 4th down.
And his kick here is good. And that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11.
So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps them inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
The ball upright on the tee, and the Saints kick team booms it away. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. Now the Jets offense gets ready to head back on the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
No surprise there. Chase Young wrecks that play with a sack.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Reynolds. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
A gain of 7 yards. And it's 3rd down.
So here's a 3rd and 14.
Here's Smith.
That went behind his man, incomplete. Had to pass there, 3rd and long on your own side of the field. Just couldn't come up with anything.
That's why teams always talk about having to win the early downs, meaning you've got to gain yardage and set yourself up for 3rd and short, because when it's 3rd and long, the odds go down significantly trying to pick up the 1st down, even throwing the football.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And here's a fair catch taken at about the 24-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup.
I got kicked out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a 1st down.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Same exact result as last play, a pickup of 11. Interior of that line blocked really well on that run, but also the 2 tight ends, they blocked well too.
Not only have they scouted the line of scrimmage, with their agility, they can get upfield and hit moving targets like linebackers, defensive backs. They do a really good job helping out the running game.
Now he's going to step up and run. And he'll slide to a halt here, still a little shy of the 1st down marker. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
Well, this has certainly turned into a showcase game for what he can do on the ground because they're just continuing to give him chances to run it, and he's earning every additional carry by putting up positive yardage on each run.
Etienne up the middle. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Only a yard on the gain there as time will run out on this 3rd quarter of play. So it's a quarter that saw these two teams trade field goals here as we've reached the end of 3 quarters of play. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now here live in New Orleans. It's the Saints who hold the football, but they're trailing as we begin the 4th quarter of play. The offense on 3rd down, they've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll try and sneak it here. And he is going to have a Saints 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That's another Saints 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
He's got his big tight end, Fant. So the completion good for 6 yards. And it'll be 2nd down. Well, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
2nd and 4. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he's brought down at the 19 after a gain of 19. 1st down in the red zone.
19 yards.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a 1-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Incomplete.
It's been clear in this matchup which side has been the more physical one. It's been this defense. And here's another example on that last play.
Now a 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Shuck. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. Will McDonald getting him once again his third sack of the afternoon. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hasn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense. I got it.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure.
Now he'll tuck this and run. That's on the guard, David Edwards.
So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long? He'll look to throw. He'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack. Will McDonald. Who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon. A rookie QB struggling, gets thrown down to the ground there. But, you know, maybe this game, it's not over yet, but maybe this game can be a learning experience for him.
So many different things that he has to pick up on. When to go ahead and flush from the pocket and run. When to get rid of the football and not take the sack. When to just go ahead and go down early and make sure you don't fumble the football. So many things that he has to learn. This game starts the process.
Straight ahead is Hall. And good space to operate there as he takes this down inside the 35-yard line.
That's good for a Jet first down, a gain of 13.
And what a tough spot for this defense because they know it's coming, but they're just powerless to stop it. What a great run there to start the drive. And you can bet there'll be more where that came from as they try to ice this game away.
On first down, right back to Hall.
And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Well, that was not what you would call straight line pursuit for a middle linebacker to make this play. He's got to work his way through the clutter to get to the ball carrier on the outside, and he does exactly that. That's called avoiding the trash.
Now Smith. And this one is incomplete.
Going for the knockout blow right there. I think if I'm up 2 scores, I'd be worried about an interception, but playing this way is what got him this lead. So you may as well ride it out to the end.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Smith now to throw.
Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And this is incomplete. Oh, that looked like a sure 6 points, but he could not get that to stick, and that is a golden opportunity wasted there.
And that's one of the few things that has not gone right for this offense so far. They've had their share of big plays. That was nearly another. But somehow, he just couldn't squeeze it.
And this is off the left upright. And it comes back. It's no good. And this will remain an 11-point spread. So distance not the issue there. He had plenty of leg to get it there. It's that darn upright getting in the way.
Always gets in the way of a good time, doesn't it? Because he hit it square, too. Sometimes you can bank one in if you get it on the end of the football. No such luck there for him.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. A good convergence there defensively, only a yard, and it's 2nd down.
Nice job by the defense figuring that play out and holding it to a short game, but I don't think the offense is going to be daunted. They actually accomplished their goal there. Now they've got them aware that they can throw a screen at them, maybe to slow the pass rush down a little bit, and they can throw it downfield.
Throwing, Shuck. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there.
Shuck now to throw. He'll try and do this himself.
And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. A gain of 22.
It hasn't been the cleanest game for him, but there was a sign of improvement as he looks towards the next one. Nice bit of scrambling to move the sticks, and even more importantly, he didn't risk adding another interception to his ledger.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Back to throw here.
Now he's going to step up and run.
And he gets it down to the 32. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
His running ability has been an extra dimension of their game plan thus far. For once, though, he doesn't create any magic against a front that's prepared for him to try and take off.
Now 2nd and 8 at the 32-yard line. A shotgun snap and again to Etienne.
Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a
it'll be intercepted.
And the Jets are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20.
1st and 10.
They'll bring the tight end in motion right here.
Now Hall to start the drive.
Oh, an absolutely filthy juke. He's got some space now. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
60 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
I guess he was saving his best for last, so to speak. Longest run of the day coming here in the 4th quarter right there.
And that type of run makes for a better night for him and his teammates, doesn't it? To be able to produce this late in the game can lead to some big smiles and satisfaction in the locker room after this one's over.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9.
Well, normally you might say start running the football. You've got the lead here in the 4th quarter, but the way that they've passed it with such success, I don't know, maybe keep throwing it.
Yeah, I think you brought up something that goes against conventional wisdom, right? In this stage of the game, you would think you would switch to a running attack, but you're exactly right. They've thrown it so well throughout the game, and trusting this quarterback, I think you continue to do so.
Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
The Saints offense now. They get ready to head back onto the field.
Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. They'll start on the ground. Etienne.
And he's going to take this up past the 10 to about the 11. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall.
And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. How about the safety, Minkah Fitzpatrick, swooping in for the sack?
I think most quarterbacks would love to have the goal line actually extend up into the air and turn into a wall, that they can put their back against it and know exactly where they are on the field so they don't end up in the end zone. Didn't do it on that play, but perilously close to the goal line.
And that is incomplete.
And they're at the point of the ball game now where they've got to take some chances. They've got to put the ball in the air and just see what happens. But this defense knows that all too well.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Saints' decision to go for it backfires. Thank goodness. That means this next drive is going to begin 1st and goal already at the 5-yard line. So now, just like that, things change dramatically. It's 1st and goal. They'll run with Hall. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. Breece Hall taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Jets have pretty well put it away here in the 4th quarter. Well, this, of course, set up by the stop a moment ago on 4th down, and now that might be the score that puts this one officially out of reach.
And it's a tough one because your hands are tied when you're losing in the 4th quarter because you know you've got to make something happen. They couldn't pick up the 1st down, and after that, the air just went right out of the balloon, and you knew you were looking at a defeated team.
York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. Oh, nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle it.
How does the Saints offense now as they get ready to take over here?
Charles, we know that this offense is aggressive. We saw that last drive. They went for it on 4th down, didn't get it. Then they give up the touchdown, so now you feel like they really need to respond here.
They certainly do, but let's face it. Sometimes when you take that risk, you understand if you fail, a little more onus goes back on your ball club to try and pick themselves back up.
That is incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. He'll look to throw. And the Jets pressure too much as down he goes. They push him back 8 yards that time on 2nd down.
You can just see it in their body language. They're starting to see victory on the horizon now, and if it comes to fruition, they got to give a game ball to the front 7. Defensive line has taken charge and controlled this game. Face a challenge of stopping this opposing offense, and they've done so with ease.
They'll get this out to the flat for Etienne.
And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the 1st down at the 29.
4th down.
They'll indeed go. Here's Shuck.
And it's knocked away and incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Jets are going to get the football here in great field position.
Option play. Here's Hall.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
This is 2nd and 8. Here's Hall again. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. Now 3rd down is looming. A pickup of 2 on 1st down and just 1 yard there.
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
Off of play action. Here's Smith. And a quick shuffle pass here is complete. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play. And that's going to make it 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
So it's a victory here for the New York Jets. And we talk so much about the turnover battle, determining who wins, who loses. This game, no exception. Air-free football, no turnovers at all, and they win it.
So this is one you don't have to convince your team that what you're saying is accurate. And you know what I'm talking about. Head coach always stands up in front of the team and says, guys, if we do this, this, and this, we'll win. And usually they say if we win the turnover battle, we'll win. Well, here's the proof right there. Win the turnover battle. Go on to victory. Now the guys believe. You move on to the next lesson where you have to convince them. This one is now planted.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports.